Man, less than a week left until Christmas. It's crazy. And with a bonus video coming out on top of next week's episode, I'll certainly have my hands full. So how about I take a look at something more simpler? And what could be more simpler than a special I wanted to look at last year with characters that look like they came out of a book. Based on the 1997 book of the same name, the special stars the titular Olive the Reindeer, voiced by Drew Barrymore, a dog that helps those less fortunate, as shown with the opening credits, where she helps mice with their Christmas trees, a dog that's naive at points, as shown when she talks to Martini and doesn't notice that the watch she purchased was fake until it's too late, and basically doesn't act like a normal dog, as shown with her interactions with her owner Tim, where she wants to be his best friend instead of a traditional dog, despite his protests of her being traditional. Well, Tim, if you want your dog to be more traditional, try asking this guy. He'll tell you all the good strategies.
Is that a gun?
Nope, just a guy with binoculars, and absolutely nothing happens after that scene.
Okay, we'll spare your video this time. Still won't get your video pushed out in sub boxes properly though.
But when Blitzen gets injured during a practice flight and considers canceling Christmas, Olive decides to go to the North Pole to try and fill in on the sleigh team to try and save the holiday after mishearing on the radio that Santa needs Olive, the other reindeer, and not all of. And if you found that mishearing bit funny, don't worry, they repeat it a bunch more times throughout the rest of the special. But to the special's defense, it does serve as part of her character development / arc, as she states near the halfway point that even if she's a dog with no antlers, she's at least trying to save Christmas despite that, while others aren't doing anything or even care, and that's something I liked. Showing that even despite her not being a reindeer, she's still willing to keep going because she wants to save the holiday and not let people like the postman win. And by the end, thanks to her determination and words, as well as help from friends she makes along the way, like the aforementioned Martini, she is able to convince Santa to go on his journey and help him fly the sleigh, saving the holiday and accomplishing her goal. So yeah, it's a good story with a good heart about someone saving Christmas despite the odds stacked against them, and it's a really satisfying conclusion for all the characters, save for the postman, but he was the antagonist, so it was more of a case of karma biting him in the ass. Is it cliche? Sure, the idea of someone saving Christmas has been done before, but the thing with cliches is, they were copied a lot for a reason, and for the specials version of it, I liked it, especially because of its main character Olive coming off as really likable and determined to see her goal through to the end, despite the postman and the other characters trying to stop her at various points in the special. She's sweet, caring, and even when she's at her lowest moments, she doesn't give up, and wants to save Christmas even if she isn't a reindeer or can fly, and is able to stand up to the people that harassed her, as shown with her scene at the top of the world bar. Also, her flying with the cardboard wings at the end, that is a cute touch, and I love it. Well, on that topic, can I say that the writing in this is pretty clever? Because, yeah, there's a lot of clever jokes and scenes in this special. I already mentioned the scene in the beginning about Olive helping the mice, but we also have scenes like the postman's song where he mentions his posteriority, which is a nice way of bypassing the censors. The dialogue Martini says when throwing the paper airplane at the antagonist. Hell, there's even a scene making fun of the Deus Ex Machina trope by having it be one of the packages. It's really stupid, but I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't clever. Hell, they even make fun of Rudolph by saying he's a myth/legend in this world. That's funny to me, but at the same time, it makes me wonder what special in that universe gets decried as offensive in the later years if Rudolph's not around. Frosty the Snowman? And speaking of a male Santa, not very progressive movie, I can just see the headlines now. But hey, at least the Get a Real Job comments are relevant even today. Only difference is that instead of Santa letters, it's in comment sections. Well, on the topic of looks, can I just say that the art style for this is pretty creative? I know this was based on a story, but I like the paper cutout design as if they were coming out of the original book itself. It's a nice touch, and it's also vibrant / pretty on the eyes in terms of colors. Sure, it's a small thing to praise, and it's not all that impressive, but I'm a sucker for the simpler things sometimes, and this is no exception. It's fluid, it's creative, and even the backgrounds look good for the time. Though, some characters don't look all that great, like, well, the postman. Seriously, that is one ugly-ass dude. But that design is probably one of the more memorable things about him, so at least there's that. Yeah, despite him being exclusive to the movie version, the postman was just there and not really all that impressive / interesting to me. He certainly served his purpose in the story as an obstacle for Olive and Martini to get over, but outside of that, there's not much about him that I liked or found interesting. That was probably the point since the special is 45 minutes long and most of it is spent with Olive and Martini, but it still kind of bugs me when talking about him as a character. He does work as an obstacle though, since he wants Christmas canceled for not only being on the naughty list multiple times, but also because Christmas is a pain in the ass for him as a postal worker. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe people should use this guy instead of the Grinch when they were complaining about the Canada Post strike a few weeks ago. Food for thought. On the plus side, his voice actor can certainly sing. Oh yeah, the songs in this are pretty catchy and great both on their own and separately. The Days Still Remaining Till Christmas, sung by Drew Barrymore, Dance Song, Merry Christmas After All. Sure, they're not masterpieces or anything, but I like the tunes in the music videos / visuals that go along with it in the special. Also, I recognize that mouth from anywhere, Fox. Neat Easter egg though. Though this scene of Olive eating a wiener served by a male is clearly meant to be an oral sex reference, I mean, it can't just be an innocent scene or anything. Clearly, there's more to it. Otherwise, how else can I write this article on how this special is offensive? Wait, didn't I just do this earlier? So, yeah, this film was really good. I liked its story, its main leads, the songs were pretty good, and while it does have some slight issues with it, I can push that aside because it's a charming movie with a lot of heart and good comedy to it that still manages to touch the holiday spirit in my heart every year. It's touching, it's sweet, and even as an adult, especially one who hasn't seen it in years, I can still say it's a good Christmas special. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't, but there's only one way to find out. So expect the bonus video up next week, and, well, celebrate Christmas coming up. I might as well look at a film that's themed around the winter season. A film that was part of a series I used to watch a bit of growing up that wasn't exactly the norm for my gender. So next time we meet, I'll be taking on a film related to my childhood in the winter season with Sailor Moon S, the movie. Provided that Toei doesn't take it down. See ya then!